Hi, I'm Ricky. Welcome to MentorcliQ's Mentoring Soundbites, where we answer some of the most common and important questions professionals just like you ask about starting, managing, and growing their mentoring programs. In this video, two talent development heavyweights answer one of the biggest questions in employee development. What's the difference between coaching and mentoring? We hope you find the video helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe for more mentoring best practices like these.
I'll start with mentoring, right? Mentoring is about it. What they all have in common is they're all about relationships.
100%.
All right, they're all about relationships. With mentoring, it tends to be with a less experienced person working with a more experienced person. And that person can be junior, senior, it doesn't matter. It used to be, an older person working with a younger person, but that no longer applies. A less experienced person working with a more experienced person. To understand mentoring, they provide feedback, they help them build awareness, they give advice. And I think the main thing is with mentoring, what you're trying to do is to help a person learn so that they learn from your experience. So that they don't have to make the same mistakes you did, right? That sharing the wisdom that you as a mentor have had while allowing the person to make their own decisions about what they choose to accept and what they don't.
Right.
But sharing that experience, that advice, that wisdom that you have. Coaching is about building the insights, helping the coachee, if you will, helping the coachee expand their perspective, their worldview, right? That vertical integration, that vertical learning, broadening their worldview, developing self-awareness, developing greater insight,
Right.
and learning from the experiences that they have internally. Right, so you talked about peeling back the layers. I think about coaching as in peeling back, helping an individual peel back the layers to get to their best self.
Right.
Right, and that's a continuous process, right? It's not one and done, but
The growth mindset at play.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. And with sponsorship, it's always, in my experience, it is about that career movement. The sponsor, you may or may not know, typically you do know them, but it is a person with influence on the hiring and movement and things like that, and they take an active role in your career trajectory.
Right.
So,
Right. And on top of that, sometimes mentors do evolve
oh yeah,
into sponsors.
right,
All
right.
predicated on the great relationship they built
right,
together.
right. You have to earn a sponsor.
That's right.
Right. You have to earn a sponsor. They have to see that you are worth the investment, because with the sponsor, they're putting their name,
Right.
I'm attached to you, so my brand is your brand and you earn it.
Coaching and mentoring are all about finding clarity.
Okay.
Right? Coaching is about finding that internal clarity. Like you said, the self-awareness, the insights, helping people really discover the dimensions of them. Whereas mentoring might be about finding external clarity, the marketplace of talent, the environment that I'm in as a professional. How do I navigate this space with grace, with poise? How do I maneuver into my next role, right? So it's the internal versus external piece about finding clarity. And similarly, sponsorship, it's really about social advocacy.
Yes.
Right? And you're putting your own brand equity out there when you're a sponsor. And so absolutely, it has to be built on trust.
Right.
Another way I think about this, sort of the synergy between the three, is the idea of a journey that the coachee, the mentee, the sponsee would be. Protege, what a much more profound word, right? It's all about a journey that they're on. And the roles that a coach or a mentor or a sponsor plays are all about assisting on that journey to varying degrees. You might think of a coach as a compass, right? You're just helping them find their own way forward, but they're determining what direction they want to move in. Whereas a mentor might be more akin to a GPS. They have a destination in mind.
Okay.
Ideally, they've got their goals sussed out. They just don't know how to get there. And they're leaning on your expertise to find the paths, despite whatever obstacles might be in the way. And a sponsor might be the driver, the chauffeur, if you will, right? Chauffeuring you around, ideally in the most pristine vehicle possible, to the various upper echelons of the company, right?
Depending on where you are on that journey, sometimes it makes sense to have all three, and sometimes it's, you need to start here, and like you said, from the mentoring, earn your way to the sponsor, and the coach, whether it's your manager who uses coaching skills or whatever, the coach can come in at different times depending on the type of coaching that's appropriate. Many people don't have that clarity, and all they're interested in right now is, how do I navigate?
Right.
Where I am, how do I navigate? They don't have the insight yet to figure out what I need to do. And I think about it, I used to do, the learning development, talent management, all of that. And I think about building skills. And so I'm layering on that skill development piece, that knowledge development piece that a mentor can help you with. And as you build those skills and start to develop some of that insight about, I think I want to go over here, then enter the coach to help you understand what you need to do, how you need to build out yourself in order to get there, and then bringing on the sponsor that can help drive that for you. So different, it's different people, there's no one size fits all.
The toughest part of any journey is in fact that first step. Right? So we know that to be true. Where do I go next? I have no idea. And I imagine if anybody were to ask themselves that question in a mirror, they'd have a tough time answering it. But what we also know, thanks to Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is to begin
with the end in mind.
With the end in mind, that's right. And so these are not mutually exclusive, polar opposite ideas.
Right.
The answer to the beginning lies in fact at the end, right? And so I think a coach is maybe that first advocate, that first individual they should work with to help them determine what might their destination be, what might their end in mind be. And then from there, finding a mentor to really help them activate that path, and then the sponsor at the end to get them across the finish line. They're all valuable. The question is, where are you in your own journey and what's important to you in that moment?
Right.
Right? And knowing how to extract the most value from either a coach, a mentor, or a sponsor.
What process does your company use to help find mentors, coaches, and sponsors? Let us know in the comments below. Mentoring, coaching, and sponsorship are all important peer-to-peer engagements that benefit an individual's career. Knowing when you need each one and having the structure to get one at the right moment could be critical to career success. Make sure your organization has the right tools in place that break down barriers to access for everyone, starting on the first day that they're hired. For even more mentoring tips, check out the links below the video or visit us at mentorcliq.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get updated on mentoring best practices like these.